There were blue skies reflected in the swollen Thames today, but no respite for communities along the banks which have disappeared beneath muddy water. At Caversham, John Patey and his family depend on the river for their livelihood. Today, it had invaded his boatyard, advancing inexorably while staff worked to move machinery out of danger, and John gazed across the flood from his sandbagged front door.
We've been here 8 years, and in that time we've suffered 4 floods, but nothing like this.
John's convinced that better maintenance of our rivers would reduce the risk.
If you don't clear your waterways, it's like clogged arteries, and it's something we're going to have to suffer in the future.
I followed the Thames upstream to the village of Purley, prized for its views of a river which is now flowing through its streets. Here, fire crews and neighbours had answered a cry for help. Gary and Doreen Weller, both in their 70s, had watched the flood surround their bungalow.
He was born here.
In the floods as well, in 1940.
You were born in the floods?
Yeah, that's why it follows me, I think.
A few hundred yards away, flood warden Jim Lehman had set up a ferry service, carrying his neighbours past pumps that had already been overwhelmed. Is this getting worse?
At this moment in time, we are getting worse. The water's still rising. It has been since 7 o'clock this morning. It's probably come up about 2 or 3 inches since 7 o'clock this morning. So they're obviously managing the water from places like Benson, Abingdon and Oxford.
Over the Thames at Wallingford, where the floodwater is creeping up the ancient stone bridge, and on to Abingdon's waterside homes, businesses and sports fields. Hour by hour, the creeping floodwater has swallowed up daily life, daily routines along this river and along so many others. People in these communities are well used to the risk of flooding, but they might be excused for wishing that perhaps just for 1 year, nature would give them a break. Robert Hall, BBC News in the Thames Valley.